In October 1991, five-term Arkansas Governor Bill Clinton declared he was running for President of the United States. For the team starting to build around him, it was political love at first sight. Clinton appeared to be the centrist, charismatic candidate for whom they'd been waiting. He prepared for a run in 1992 amidst a crowded field, seeking to beat the incumbent President George H.W. Bush. In the 12 years of Ronald Reagan and George Bush, no state rose so high nor fell so far. It was a story of credit and debt, of expansion and overextension, followed by bankruptcy. People had lost their jobs and increasingly their homes. Into this walks the man who would be president, Bill Clinton, the front-runner for the Democratic nomination, and his wife Hillary, representing hope, change and vision.
Well, the truth is, this country is in trouble. We're in a recession that came to New Hampshire, signed, sealed, and delivered by the policies of the Bush administration.
Governor of Arkansas Bill Clinton was selected as the nominee through a series of primary elections and caucuses, culminating in the 1992 Democratic National Convention held from July 13 to July 16 in New York City.
People are beginning to believe in the possibility of change again.
During the 92 Democratic Convention, the convention hall was plagued by the fact that independent candidate Ross Perot was tied with or beating Clinton in opinion research polls. This caused a moderate turn of events at the convention to win back Perot voters from the Perot campaign. This led to the selection of such speakers such as Representative Barbara Jordan from Texas to deliver a bipartisan keynote address to the convention delegates. Also speaking was the vice presidential nominee, Al Gore, who appealed to the center as he was, at the time, a Southern moderate Democrat from Tennessee. However, on the last day the convention convened, Ross Perot dropped out of the presidential race and left a gap for both Bush and Clinton to scramble for newly undecided voters.
Now that we have changed the world, it's time to change America. I call this approach a new covenant, a solemn agreement between the people and their government, based not simply on what each of us can take, but what all of us must give to our nation. Perhaps the thing that bothers me most is how he derides and degrades the American tradition of seeing and seeking a better future. He mocks it as the vision thing. But just remember what the Scripture says. Where there is no vision, the people
Clinton chose Tennessee Senator and former 1988 presidential candidate Al Gore to be his running mate. Choosing Gore, who was from Clinton's neighbouring state of Tennessee, went against the popular strategy of balancing a southern candidate with a northern partner. Gore did serve to balance a ticket in other ways, as he was perceived as strong on family values and environmental issues. Clinton and Gore began a bus tour around the United States shortly thereafter, while the Bush Quayle campaign began to criticise Clinton's character, highlighting accusations of infidelity and draft dodging.
We have no way of confirming that. The uncle is dead. Bill never heard of that before. And the source is a Republican. It's absurd that the story got as far as it did. There's no credible basis for the story.
The Bush campaign emphasised its foreign policy successes such as Desert Storm and the end of the Cold War. Bush also contrasted his military service to Clinton's lack thereof and criticised Clinton's lack of foreign policy expertise. However, as the economy was the main issue, Bush's campaign floundered across the nation, even in strongly Republican areas, and Clinton maintained leads with over 50% of the vote nationwide consistently. The campaign continued with a lopsided lead for Clinton through September, until Ross Perot decided to re-enter the race.
the fact that he offers hope and promise for the future. This is the first time since 1968 that I've been involved in a presidential candidacy.
I think he'll make a great president. I think he's fully qualified. I like what he did with the state of Arkansas, and I think he can lead our country back to prosperity.
I think Clinton has shown us what very few candidates have, and that is that he understands what human brokenness is about, and he showed honesty and perseverance in the face of that. And I think that's a wonderful invitation to us all.
Initially, Perot's return saw the Texas billionaire's numbers stay low until he was given the opportunity to participate in a trio of unprecedented three-man debates. The race narrowed as Perot's numbers significantly improved as Clinton's numbers declined, while Bush's numbers remained more or less the same from earlier in the race as Perot and Bush began to hammer at Clinton on character issues once again.
They have had the White House so long that they've run out of energy, run out of ideas, run out of direction, and they ought to be run out of town, and with your help we can. This is not a matter of party, it's a matter of people and the country and the future of America. We've got to change this country. A government that's fair to everybody, not just the privileged few. A government that brings us together instead of dividing us. A government that faces our problems and tells the people the truth instead of denying them until election time and then trying to throw money at them at the last minute. I tell you, we can do better than that.